Should we play music or should Ashwarya sing for us? Ashwarya, you're singing for us. Come on. Referees, are you ready? Okay. Subbu sir, can you turn on the music? Okay guys, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Wait. Anjali, how old is Saurav?
He is 34.
Wrong answer. He's not that old yet. How old?
18.
Terrible answer.
31.
31 or 32? Sandeep will give you a gift for the correct answer. What's Saurav's PSA ranking? What's Zahed Mohammed's PSA ranking? Who's the best player in the Calcutta Racket Club? Are you better than your dad? Aryan. Okay guys, how many push-ups can Aryan do? Hand up. How many?
1.
Who's the current world champion? Right. Who's the current world number 2?
Alihara.
3. Wrong. Fail. Everyone's failing. Rami is 18. Wrong. Wrong. That's right. Okay, you can't answer any more questions. You answered way too many. Hello. What's your name? Where are you from? UP. Who's your favorite player? Saurav Ghosal बोलना चाहिए था. You can leave. You want a question? Yeah? Who's the women's world number 1? Perfect. Good answer. Dilip sir will give you a gift. Aryan, are you ready? Push-ups? Welcome everyone to the Kolkata International 2018 finals. First up on court will be the world number 29. He's from Egypt, and on his way to the final, he beat Mike McHugh from Canada 3-0 in the pre-quarterfinal. Harinder Pal Singh Sandhu from India 3-2 in a very exciting match in the quarterfinals. Yesterday he beat Carlos Cornes from Spain in the semifinals 3-0. Please welcome on court our number 2 seed and from Egypt, Zahed Mohammed. Up next is our local hero. He is a 12-time Indian national champion. Thank God he's not playing nationals this year. I am happy about that. He is the current world number 11. On his way to the final, he beat Kamal Shafiq from Malaysia 3-0. In the quarterfinals, he beat Kareem Lamami from Egypt 3-0. Yesterday, he beat the US number 1 Todd Harity from America 3-0. Please welcome on court our top seed and the world number 11, Saurav Ghosal. And introducing our referees for the match tonight. Our head referee is Mr. Dheeraj Singh from Rajasthan. And yeah, a big round of applause for Mr. Dheeraj Singh. And assisting him is Siddharth Rathore from Rajasthan, but he spends most of his time here in Kolkata. So good luck, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I request you to please turn off your cell phones or put it on the end mode. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the Kolkata International Final here. It's a packed crowd. We have around 100 people viewing the game tonight. Of course, local hero Saurav Ghosal is in action, and he's in the blue, and in the orange is Zahed Mohammed from Egypt. Should be an interesting match. Zahed has had a tough ride to the final. Like, he started off with a convincing 3-love win and then had a very interesting match with Harinder Pal Sandhu from India, where he won 3-2. And yesterday he was very impressive actually. He beat Carlos Cornes from Spain 3-0. Saurav on the other hand has been very comfortable. He's been cruising through He hasn't dropped a game yet in the tournament, so it's going to be interesting to see how these two players cope with their different styles and with me in the commentary box is Yash Fateh, who's the current Indian junior national champion. Yash, what are your thoughts on the match today?
It's surely going to be a very interesting match. Both players have played extremely good squash over the past 3-4 days, and looking forward to seeing a good match.
Yash, if you were to put your money on who would you be betting tonight?
Obviously, it will be the local boy Saurav. I feel he has a big edge over Zahed today.
Why do you think that?
Taking conditions, looking at the conditions today, I feel Saurav knows this court better than anyone else, and I think that is a very big plus point for Saurav today.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, this is Saurav's home court, and we train together at the Calcutta Racket Club, so he does know the conditions extremely well, and yeah, and in our game that is a big advantage.
Check. Hello.
Joining me in the commentary box is Sachika Balwani, who's the top Indian women's player, and she went to Trinity to complete. You can hear that crowd, Sachika. What are your thoughts on the match today?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a home crowd favorite playing, so we're going to give unbiased commentary here from Ramit and I for sure. More unbiased from Ramit, is that right?
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. Saurav serving from the right side, returning serve on the backhand side. Best of 5 games, love all. That's a great shot by Zahed, and first blood. That was an amazing rally. Well, sort of squeezing the air out of Zahed, making him work really hard.
Definitely looks like both of them are keeping the ball really tight against the walls. What do you think, Ramit?
I agree with that. I mean, Saurav is very accurate, and Zahed is no less for this stroke making ability.
What do you think? Right shot choice?
Well, I think the shot choice was right, but that's what usually happens in the beginning of the matches, you know. Big final here, edginess, so not very surprising. Early days.
So long rally there in, as Ramit says, the early days. Who's taking it from here, Ramit? What do you think?
I think both the players are getting into it a little more as you see the rallies are getting longer, the quality is getting higher.
So 5-2 lead for Ghosal. Looks like he's sticking in the rallies a little longer than Salem.
6-2.
Saurav taking the early lead in the first game. You can see Zahed starting to feel it a little bit. The rallies are really long, which is in Saurav's favor.
It's one of the first mistakes we've seen from Saurav, which is, can't say the same.
3 sets.
Less mistakes coming from Zahed, definitely working in his favor.
Well, that was a great shot by Zahed. That's just an example of his great racket work, especially in the front of the court. Another unforced error by Zahed. You can see, you can understand exactly why he's so furious on court right now.
Tight work from Zahed, which is why we've gotten he's gotten a stroke in his favor, and he's catching up to Saurav. So we saw yesterday Saurav used that right-hand side corner to get a lot of shots, either winning them or getting loose shots out of them. Is that right, Ramit?
So we aren't allowed to speak during the rally for some technical reason.
Yes, left. Yes, left. 8-5.
Stroke, Ramit, yes or no?
There was interference.
Well, I do think that should have been a stroke in this situation, just because Saurav prevented Zahed's swing, and then if he tried to hit the ball, he was probably going to catch Saurav on the backswing.
So Zahed not letting that go.
Yes, that.
Some court cleaning.
Not taken very well by Saurav.
8-5.
So 9-5, Saurav edging towards the end of the game. Frustration.
Mr. Salem, please take a careful with your racket. 10-5.
We can see the frustration on Zahed's face right now. The referee not too happy with that.
Great shot by Saurav, taking the first game there. Crowd's very happy. So first of all, Ramit and I would like to make it known that we, because of technical issues, are unable to speak during rallies. So you'll have to bear with our sort of 2-second commentary between rallies. But Ramit, going by yesterday's matches, both the semi-finals were really good. Do you think they're playing the games, both of them played very well yesterday, do you think they're playing the kind of games that they played yesterday? Better, worse, same level?
I mean, I feel Saurav has been playing very well, like the entire tournament. He's yet to drop a game, and he's been very impressive. And this summer he worked with David Palmer, so he's been based in Cornell up with DP, and since then I've seen the change in his style of play, and he's changed a lot of things in his game, and even his performance on the PSA over the last couple of months has been very impressive. Zahed, on the other hand, played extremely well yesterday. I just feel he took some time to get into the game today and give Saurav an early lead. He made a couple of errors that he usually does not make, but having said that, also it's a really hot court. Saurav understands the court extremely well, and is definitely putting Zahed under a lot of pressure. So it'll be interesting to see how Zahed reacts to that in the second game. I have a feeling he's going to come out all guns firing and try to counter-attack and put Saurav under pressure. But Saurav, on the other hand, is going to try to avoid that and keep the rallies long and keep moving Zahed corner to corner. What do you think?
Well, I'm always game for a good fight. So I'm always hoping that things go to, 4 or 5 games. So it would be nice to see him come out all guns firing, as you say. Do you think the comfort level differs when it comes to the fact that Saurav is playing at home and in literally his home city, in his home club?
Well, I'm sure it makes a huge difference, right? I mean, playing a final in your home club is very special. It could go both ways. Like Saurav is handling it really well. Sometimes it could add to some extra pressure because you don't want to lose at home, and you react differently in that kind of a scenario. But like Saurav is doing very well. He is very experienced. He's been playing the PSA for a very long time, so he knows how to handle the situation.
So if you've just tuned in, Saurav Ghosal is one love up here in Kolkata, and just to remind you all, Ramit and I can only speak between rallies because of technical issues. So bear with us.
Sachika is not very happy about that, but it is what it is.
And Ramit Instagrams during rallies, so definitely keep track of that. If you're not following, we'll post the handles as we go, just so you can give him a follow.
That's a great start to the game by Saurav. A great backhand drive.
Stroke to Salem.
Saurav does not seem very happy about that decision.
Still seemed consistent in the last one, so that's something.
Well, yeah, I think it was the right call by the referee. Zahed could not really play that ball. Although some referees do call that a let for safety because there's also turning involved, but I think Saurav was too close to the ball in that situation. Textbook drop shot by Saurav right there, Sachika.
Yeah, I think it's a little more Saurav than textbook, but yeah, 2-1 up here.
Stroke to Salem.
Third stroke here. Why do you think that's happening?
I mean, a couple of times the ball just caught the corner in this court. I mean, this is my home club as well. I play here quite a bit, and it tends to happen a lot on this court. So I guess it's just one of those things you can't really explain.
Referee hasn't spoken yet.
Mr. Salem. Mr. Salem. I need you to
What do you
take
think,
the
Ramit?
shots.
Expert
I need you to
refereeing
take the shots.
comments from
There
you?
was interference.
Well, I think that was. I'll wait for the referee to finish his explanation. Well, I feel there was minimal interference and Zahed got through. Especially on the PSA these days, you see most referees calling those soft calls, no lets.
Beautiful shot. Absolutely beautiful shot by Saurav. Keep going with his lead.
3-2.
3-2.
Well, that ball looked good to me.
Uh-oh. Ref remains unchanged. Saurav agrees. It was a double. Looked good to me too, though.
4-2.
Stroke to Salem.
Ghosal, you are not clearing. The shot was loose. You are coming to the player.
Another stroke given against Saurav. Saurav moving right back into Zahed. Not giving him access to the ball.
3-4.
The referee is playing a very important part in this game so far. What do you think, Sachika?
I'll let you know when the rally is over. Okay, so Ramit asked me if I think the referee's playing a big role here. I definitely think so. We've seen, with what I've been counting, about 6 strokes against Saurav so far. But it's level here with the two of them at 4-all in the second game.
Just let.
Okay, Ramit, let? No let, stroke.
He was
To be honest, I didn't see that. I was.
Instagramming?
Yes, let.
I'm kidding. It wasn't Instagramming, guys.
For safety, I'm doing let.
Okay, so far, Saurav is not happy with the ref.
You are making effort to clear.
But let's see if he can redeem himself with this rally. So 5-4 Saurav. Ramit, does it look to you that Zahed is playing a little safer than he was before, hitting more to the back and less attacks in the front?
I definitely feel he's playing better this game. He's found the structure, he's found the right balance between going deep and short, which he wasn't really finding in the first game. And another stroke to Zahed. I think it's the 7th or 8th decision by the referee in this game, and it's still 5-all.
Yes, left.
Yes,
Wow.
you're into the player. You're not clear. Give the
So
direct
Saurav is not a very doesn't have he's quite a small guy. So him giving this many strokes, he's definitely very frustrated. Probably not used to it, so quite frustrated with the ref. Wow, great shot there by Zahed. Ramit, what do you have to say?
Saurav has to keep his focus here. He has to stay calm and composed. The refereeing is getting to him a little bit, but I'm sure he's experienced enough to find his way out of the situation.
So as you said, Saurav is getting a little riled up by the refs, and I think that is playing in Zahed's favor. He's getting a little more confident, attacking a little more here as he takes a 7-5 lead in the second game. So Saurav here with a chance to equalize.
Beautiful drop shot by Saurav on the backhand front corner of the court. He's won a couple of points in that corner.
Beautiful work on that backhand side. I think this time Zahed reading that drop shot and hitting a very, very nice tight drive down the line. Again, taking a 2-point lead at 8-6.
It's an important point for both Saurav and Zahed.
Yes, left.
Oh Lord.
Ghosal,
He tried to jump out of that glass wall there.
There's a direct line.
Well, that's a little tricky. I feel like the ball died at the back wall,
You are not.
which would be very hard for Zahed to get that back or hit a winner or a great shot of that.
You think Saurav moved it out of it enough? Well enough?
Well, that's the part I'm a little confused about. I'm just not sure if Saurav cleared fast enough. But having said that, I just feel the quality of the shot was really good.
Yes, left.
Uh-oh. He's flabbergasted. What do you think? Stroke?
Yes, left. Your
Borderline, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could have been a stroke in this situation, but I feel a let is a decent call.
Fair call for me as well. Mistake on a crucial point here by Zahed. And Saurav's going to look to make full use of that.
7-8.
7-8. Bout of luck, but that being said, he is doing really good work on that backhand wall.
Well, yeah, I mean, a nick on the back, off the back was extremely lucky, and in this situation, it's very well welcomed by Zahed.
He's made too many mistakes on that forehand front corner.
And out. 8-9.
Oh, I think that was a fair call. Don't open the door. Ramidal was jumping up in his seat and telling Saurav to not open the door there.
Well, so according to the new PSA rules, as soon as the player opens the door, it's a conduct stroke against him.
Which would not work at all for Saurav in this situation, because that would have meant he would have lost the game. So good job, Ramit.
Exactly, as a good friend, I stood up for my boy.
Literally stood up for his boy. It's not to be too love up for Saurav as he loses this game and Zahed equalizes at 1-all. Okay, the fun part, Ramit, predictions here when you're done.
Well, I mean, of course I'm going to go with Saurav. 1-all, I think he's done a good job moving the ball around and putting some work into Zahed's legs. I mean, of course, this game he made a few unforced errors and got a little worked up with the referees, but I'm sure he's going to come back composed in the next game and try to take control. What do you think? Do you think Zahed is going to change his strategy in the third game?
Not so sure about Zahed, to be entirely honest, but knowing Saurav and watching him play for so long, I definitely think he will. I think he's going to have to cool down and not get affected by the referees, because they were going pretty parallel to each other with the scores in the middle of the game before the refereeing kind of got to him and he made some mistakes. But yeah, I'm up for a good fight, so hoping that Saurav makes the corrections he needs to make, and maybe Zahed will come out a little more attacking.
Yeah, David Palmer is coaching Saurav in between games, so I'm sure he'll have something to add, and Saurav is going to come back mentally sharper and with a different strategy. Zahed, on the other hand, I think he's been pretty impressive in this game. He's kind of found some structure. He's shooting at the right times and playing some beautiful shots, and I think he would continue doing that. Yusuf Soleiman is in his corner tonight, so I'm sure he would give him some confidence coming into the third game.
Yeah, for sure. And if you guys have just started watching, again, Ramit and I would like to reiterate the fact that because of technical sound issues, we are unable to speak during rallies. It really comes down to if you would rather hear our voice over the sound of the ball. Which is why we only have a really small window between rallies to speak in. And that's when we get all of Ramit's expertise. But yeah.
Saachika, moving away from the match, is this your first time here in Calcutta? What do you think about the PSA event? And we're also having a junior event and a close satellite PSA men and women events at the same time. What are your thoughts on the week so far?
I haven't been to Calcutta in many years, but no, I think it's really amazing. I mean, it's nice to have juniors here playing a tournament at the same time as a PSA. It really sort of opens up sort of their minds in terms of international squash, to be playing at the same time as a lot of international players, very good players who've come for this tournament.
Salem.
Third game.
Absolutely, very crucial third game. It's always the edgiest one, I would say. So love all here. Early mistake.
Well, that was a great drop shot from Saurav that forced the error out of Zahed. Good start to the game for Saurav.
It's an unfortunate mistake from Saurav after a pretty good get. He's just really quick on his feet.
The crowd getting into it a little bit. They're trying to back their home local hero. So ready there. Yes, let's. It's serving again.
Another mistake early in the game. I think he's made 2 or 3 already.
2-1.
Well, the score is 2-1, so it could only be 2.
All right, Ramit. So Ramit is still laughing from his little joke.
And out. 2-all.
Well, that was good shot selection, just clipping the tin. I mean, had he made that, I don't think Saurav was going to get that back.
Gentlemen, please settle down.
A lot of crowd here for Saurav, so Everyone's finding it difficult to find space to watch their local hero. Ramit is also a local hero though, so. It looked a little dodgy there, but called up. Either way, it's okay for him. 3-all here.
Yeah, Saurav is usually a very fair player, so had that been double, I think he would have called it himself.
(4-3).
1 point lead here in the middle of the game. 4-3, Ramit.
Well, a great hold by Saurav in the front forehand corner of the court. If you see, like, he's won most of his points in that part of the court, and if not, he's used that part of the court really well to open up the court to finish the ball like he did in this rally.
So to Ghosal.
All right, Ramit, what do you think?
Be careful with your movement.
Well, Zahed being penalized on movement in the situation.
Direct access to the opponent.
The referee says he took the wrong line back and he should be giving direct access. And the door open by Zahed, which means conduct point probably.
Conduct stroke for door open. You can't open the door. Mistake. Conduct stroke for door open. Please play on, please.
So conduct stroke given by the referee to implement new PSA rules, which say that if you open the door, you lose a point automatically, giving Saurav
Conduct stroke for door open. 6-4.
a 6-4 lead. Absolutely daring by Zahed there, taking out some frustration in the right ways.
Yes,
5 sets.
he does not look too happy right now.
No lead given. I think the ball was too tight there, so a pretty fair call for me. And getting Zahed very, very excited for the next point.
I think the dodgy calls by the referees have just unleashed the beast in Zahed. You can see some extra aggression in this game right now.
So the beast, as Ramit is accusing of being out, is made a little bit of an error.
I did not say he's the beast. I said he's unleashed the beast in him. The beast is our very own.
E-beast. We weren't talking about, the beast.
Well, the beast is our very own Muhammad Al-Sharbagi. Although they both are from Alexandria.
I I think one city can have only one beast. There's never room for two.
8,
This beast, however, is down 6-8 against Saurav in this third game. Saurav getting a couple of unforced errors from Zahed.
No net.
there is a line to the ball. Ghosal, I need you to play the shots.
Saurav is stunned. A small smile
No
from
let.
him. No let. Ramit, would you classify Saurav as a kind of beast of Kolkata?
Well, in terms of his squash and his speed on the court, yes. But in terms of his body structure, I don't think I could justify calling him a beast in that sense.
Yes, net. Yes,
Oh
net.
my word. Uproar from the crowd as well.
Yes, net.
Very close to opening the door there, Saurav.
You are standing on the line, Mr. Ghosal. Give the direct access to the ball. Carry on, please.
Not many people happy with that call, but I think it was quite fair.
I think it was Zahed's bad shot in the middle of the court, and Saurav did not take any additional space. I just feel Zahed is responsible to go through the interference and get that ball back.
Might have been a slightly off pickup, Saurav's pickup on a very, very low shot from Zahed. That being said, we did see some Saurav sprints in the middle of that rally there.
That was a great rally.
10-7. The ball.
Some exceptional pickups from both players, giving Saurav 10-7 game ball.
Stroke to Salem.
All right.
You failed to clear.
Well, yeah, I agree with that call. I just feel Zahed had no access to the ball, so although the ball was a little far, so
Bounce was pretty high though.
yeah, so it could have been a let because of the distance between the player and the ball. But these days, a lot of referees are calling that strokes. They're basically penalizing you on your movement out of the corner.
11-8. Game Ghosal. Ghosal lead 2 games to 1.
Yeah, so 2-1 to Saurav in this crucial third game, as we discussed Sachika before the game. And I did say I think Saurav is going to win this game, and you did not agree with me. So what do you think now going into the fourth game? Do you think Saurav is going to wrap this up, or you think Zahed is going to come out strong?
I mean, you know, I'm always playing devil's advocate here. So I wasn't necessarily, you know, saying that definitely Saurav would not win the second game. But I was hoping for a little more of a fight at the time, which clearly we got, because now it's 2-1 with Saurav in the lead. Do you think Zahed can make a comeback here and take it to 5?
Well, I mean, Zahed is exceptionally talented. You can't really count him out. We saw him come back very strong after losing the first game. So I'm sure, I mean, he's going to come back and he's going to fight as hard as he can. He's going to try to push hard in the first few rallies of the game. But I think the first few rallies are very important. If Saurav can set up an early lead, I think mentally it's going to be very difficult for Zahed to dig deep and make a comeback. But if Zahed comes out strong and takes an early lead, then I think we'll be seeing the fifth game.
Yeah, well, I don't think either of them have kind of come from behind in any of the games and won the game. So I think that's a pretty fair call. I do think that the first few points, rallies will kind of play a big role in determining if Saurav can make this 3-1 and over and out, or if we're going to 5 here.
Well, just for those who tuned in recently, if you're wondering why we aren't talking or commentating during the rally, we've had some technical issue due to which we cannot talk while the rally is going on. So yeah, we are basically commentating in the couple of seconds we have in between rallies. We apologize for that. Yeah. Sachika promises that the next time she'll be commentating probably at CCI, she'll make sure we don't have this technical glitch.
Oh my word, Ramit. But we also can't speak when the referee's speaking. The referee's been talking a lot the past 3 games because of a lot of calls, which haven't really made the crowd happy. So it's going to be interesting to see if the referee is going to make a very, very big difference in this game.
Great backhand volley drop by Saurav. He's extremely strong in that half of the court, as we've seen throughout the games.
Yes, let. Yes, let. 1 love.
Another beautiful backhand volley drop by Saurav to take a quick lead in the early half of the fourth game.
Wow.
I guess you haven't seen that one before, Sachika?
And out.
I really don't keep track, but that was a pretty spectacular comeback. 1-2 here.
Sachika almost fell off a chair.
I think that's just because it's very crowded. Wow. Just so you know, I haven't rolled off into the audience.
And out. 3-1.
Ramit doesn't have a comeback. Uh-oh. What do you think, Ramit? I think I did see Saurav not run into, but slightly clip his arm. What do you think?
I feel Zahed went through and played the shot, and had he made the shot, I don't think he would have asked for a let. It's just unfortunate that he did not make it, and he was looking for a let. He should have stopped before playing the ball, I think.
Really great length.
And out.
Well, still hope for Zahed. He's still fighting back, and it's 2-4 in the fourth game. Tired of talking.
Yes, sir. 2-4.
That's a straightforward let ball.
He definitely looks calmer this game. Zahed, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I don't think the referees have given as many calls as they did in the last game, and that's the usual trend when you start talking to the referee. You tend to get more heated, and it becomes it's hard to control your emotions on court. There we go, Sachika.
So to Ghosal. 6-2.
Okay, so 6-2 lead from Saurav. That's really tight. So we did say that as the trend has gone, if you've been leading, they've usually won the game. What do you think, Ramit?
Well, Saurav is still up in this game, and although Zahed is still fighting back, and he's not letting Saurav run through, I still think Saurav is favourite to win this game and close the match right here.
Yeah, he played through that one. Didn't really ask for a let. Do you think he did the right thing there, or should he have asked? Well, it worked for him though.
Well, in that situation, I think it was smart. I mean, the referees have really been penalizing both players for soft lets, so it made sense for him to go through and play the ball. Although Saurav wasn't very happy with the physicality of Zahed in that situation.
I'm watching, but there is a light behind the pool.
Yes, then. 4 seconds.
Riled up. I think some of the crowd may have maybe seen their loyalties waver just a little bit because of that rally. What do you think, Ramit?
Well, I feel it's just amazing to see this. You can see the crowd appreciate beautiful squash, and if Zahed produces that piece of brilliance, they're still willing to stand up and clap for him.
Ghosal. Standing on the shot.
I think that's the right call. Saurav has got penalized for moving back onto his opponent, and Zahed just did the exact same thing in that situation.
So he's still clinging on here. It's 6-7.
And now 6-7.
I think he's done extremely well to come back, and right now he's just the point behind Saurav. This game.
Yes, Mr. Ghosal, he was...
You know, okay, so let's see. It would have been a stroke had it not been for how tight it was against the wall. So what do you think, Ramit?
I think Zahed went through, and he intentionally did not play the ball because the ball was that tight. I think that if the ball wasn't that tight, Zahed could have played the ball. So I think it should have been a no-let, but it's still 6-7. The referees called it a let.
Yes, let Mr. Ghosal give the line to your opponent. You are standing after the playing the shot.
Well, that's another...
He's making effort to read the ball.
I think that was quite fair for me, though, because by the time he sort of stopped running, he was quite close to the ball. He just wasn't really in position to play it.
Well, yeah, as the referees explained, the referees think Saurav was moving back to his opponent in that situation, and therefore they decided to call that a let.
Yes, let. He was by the time he was clear.
Yes, then. 6-7.
Okay, what was different? We saw that a couple points ago, just the other way around. So what was different?
It was pretty much the same situation. I just feel the previous one, which was given as a let, should have been a no let as well.
Done. 8-7.
Okay, so he's done something. He's made it. He's overtaken Saurav. Maybe we do have scope for a 5-setter. Maybe. Ooh.
So to Ghosal.
I spoke too soon. 8-all.
So to Ghosal. And out. 8-all.
There have been an awful lot of strokes throughout the 4 games.
Yes, let. Yes, let.
8-all.
Well, I agree with that. I think that's a let for safety.
The players are done with the confrontation. They're playing on at 8-all here.
The stroke to Ghosal.
You are coming to the opponent.
Well, the referee has a
So to Ghosal.
similar explanation, saying Zahed was coming back onto his opponent and therefore calling that a stroke.
Yes, let.
So Saurav definitely scrambled around.
There is a let.
It's another let here.
Yes, left. 9, 8.
1 point lead for Saurav. 9-8. I think he worked that rally pretty well, so it's unfortunate to end that way.
Well, Saurav digging really deep here.
10-8.
And
Championship ball.
you can see how hard both these guys are working, and it's a pretty impressive display of squash here tonight.
Wow. That was a great shot. So he has a chance here to get it.
Championship ball.
9-10. Match ball still for Saurav. Oh! 10-all. To everyone wondering, Ramit was kidding about me falling off the chair. I did not fall off any chairs.
10-all.
However, back to the match, it is 10-all. So Saurav has lost his match balls.
Abhay Singh getting it wrong right here. Abhay, if you remember correctly, I said Sachika almost fell off the chair.
Almost doesn't mean she did.
to Ghosal.
Oh wow, this is at 10 all.
You are coming to the, you are not giving direct line.
I think the referee
So Ghosal,
having the same explanation for almost every call in this match so far. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh my word. 11 all. Unforced there, clipping the tin. He's hit the tin there by the skin of his teeth, which is making Zahed really happy.
11 all.
11 all. So he's turned the tables here. It's game ball for Zahed. He's going to look to take this to 5.
12, 11.
Game on. Stroke to
Salem.
It's strokes galore here. Saurav is still on the court.
Salem. 2 games all.
So I think I got what I wished for. I wanted a good fight and I got one. Ramit, what do you have to say? So we did, however, see that this game, opposed to every other game, we saw a comeback, come from behind win in terms of the points. So Ramit, what do you think? What changed between both of their games from the first couple to this one?
I just think now both of them are reading each other a little better now as the match progresses. You kind of tend to understand your opponent's patterns, and as I see both the players getting more balls back and are kind of understanding the shot making and this shot selection. But having said that, like towards the end of the fourth game, Saurav having some match ball is more like the edginess in those situations that caused some panic in both the players, and I think that led to some exciting squash. The crowd getting involved as well. Unfortunately, Saurav could not convert, but we have a fifth game, and as I said in the fourth, the lead is going to be extremely important. And I think whichever player comes out stronger and wins the first few rallies will have or will hold advantage for the rest of the game.
So Ramit and I are very keen to let you all know, if you've just started watching, sorry if you've been watching the whole way, we do have to say this to kind of save ourselves. We can't really speak between rallies as the rally goes on because of technical issues with sound, which is why we're sort of fitting our many comments into the sort of space we get between rallies. So we're in for a fifth game here. It's 2-all with Saurav, if I'm not mistaken, Ramit missing out on three match balls.
15 seconds.
At least two. I'm not sure. Maybe three. I mean, I know he was 10-8 up. I'm not sure if he was 11-10 game ball or match ball. Sorry, but yeah, whatever said. I mean, psychologically, it's not easy to come back having lost a couple of match balls. But I know Saurav very well for a long period of time.
No way. I'm just kidding.
Well, Sachika trying to be funny there, but it wasn't really.
Sachika being funny there.
Whoa, English major.
Set down, please.
Technicalities. We all know how much technicalities matter. Ramit lives for textbook definitions. Alright, jokes aside, we're 2-all here in the final. Ramit is
2 games all.
telling me not to say much more. Okay, so we're in for a 5th game here. We're gonna see which one of them handles the game better. How they handle the ref. With what we've seen, the pattern is that the ref has been very, very involved. So it's very exciting for the players and for the crowd as well, who are finding it difficult to keep things quiet.
Stroke to Ghosal.
What do you think? I know that you are allowed to wait as long as you need in order to play that. What do you think, Ramit? Are you allowed to wait as long as you want to play those balls?
As long as it's not the second Bansachika.
Stroke to Ghosal.
I have so many jokes, but they would just annihilate Ramit, so I'm not going to go there. Saurav's taken an early lead, though.
Stroke to Ghosal. 2 love.
2 love. This was, however, the case in the last game, and we did see Zahed make a comeback, so let's see. It's still early. Really good.
Well, it's a great hole by Zahed. Saurav not expecting the straight drop. I mean, if you remember, most of the 4th game, Zahed was like punching the ball straight across from the front corner, and in the 5th game, he surprises him with the straight drop.
Not up. No, pickup was not up.
Okay, so Saurav handing it over the crowd now.
Play out, please. Not up.
If only they could phone a friend.
Gentlemen, I made my decision. Silence, please. Can I have the silence in the court, please?
Well, the players getting the crowd involved and asking the crowd to make decisions. Worked that way, probably would have made the final.
Ooh.
Market call. Mr. Market call, I have correction. Yes, then.
That's a beast unleashed if I've ever seen one. Okay, so they did say not up at first, and then they changed it to a let. What are your comments? Was it changed or was it just overturned?
Well, it wasn't changed. The marker made an early call suggesting Saurav's ball was not up, and then the referee correcting the marker. But I do feel the ball was good.
Yes, let.
Play on, please. I'm watching.
Okay, so as we predicted, the referee has been very involved, and this game so has the whole everyone sitting here. So he's egging himself on here. He's 2-4, but definitely looking very determined.
Saurav giving Zahed the look there. Having spent a lot of time with Saurav, it's very rare to see him so aggressive on court.
It's all about the look.
Six.
6-2 here for Saurav. It's quite a lead he's gotten for himself early in this game.
Stroke to Salem. Riveted swing.
So a smile from Zahed and helplessness from Saurav at this point. Absolute helplessness.
Saurav extremely upset right now. Well, we've seen a lot of decisions in this match.
About 3-6.
I can't blame the referee for some fatigue by this point. By this point in time.
Possibly the most they've spoken all day, but it definitely made him go the wrong way there, Saurav, who's quite fast. So it's really good job by Zahed to get that mistake out of Saurav. Another unforced error. Ramit, do you think the referee is getting to him again here?
Well, I do think, like it's very rare to see unforced errors from Saurav. He's known for not making mistakes and being very disciplined, and a couple of errors creeping in, and as you said, it could be like his interaction with the referee that distracted him a little bit.
Without 7-5.
7-5, so Saurav still keeping a 2-point lead. So that's happened a couple of times now where his counter drop has gone into the tin.
8-5.
I just think it's fatigue at this stage in the game. Fifth game, probably played over an hour by now. I think his legs are slightly heavy, slightly late in the ball.
I think Ramit is right. That's probably why you see Zahed going for his shots a little bit more, hoping for a quick point.
Stroke to Ghosal.
Serve to Ghosal. 10-5.
Championship ball. Down.
11-5. Championship to Ghosal. 3 games to 2. 11-5. 8-11. 11-8. 13-11. 11-5.
Thank you, Sachika.
Thank you, Ramit. That was entertaining. So thank you for watching, definitely, and thank you for putting up with us. Even though we were only allowed to speak during the break between rallies and not during rallies itself. But yeah, this was a great bout of squash, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And anything to say in goodbyes, Ramit?
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope we entertained you guys. I mean, the good thing was the squash was brilliant, so I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and see you again very soon.